What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and Alec Baldwin and his PR team have been in full damage control mode for the past 2 months after what happened on the set of Rust, and it has only continued to get worse for him every time he opens his mouth, when he pretends to be the victim, when he tries to get sympathy, and when he continues to change his story and lie about what happened, and especially when he decided to tell everyone that he feels absolutely zero responsibility and zero guilt over taking the life of Halyna Hutchins on the set of Rust. We've heard from actors, we've heard from people that have experience on Hollywood sets, and we've heard from Alec Baldwin in that ridiculous, terrible interview. But now we're hearing from someone who we haven't really heard that much from, and that's the family of Halyna Hutchins. You can see the headline from Bounding into Comics. Halyna Hutchins' father says it's hard for him to understand how Alec Baldwin cannot be held partially responsible. And this is why Alec Baldwin deciding to go in front of the country in order to try to put your story out there, put your spin on it, was never going to work. It backfired immensely, and ever since that moment, you gave people so many details, your lies about what happened, that they have been able to pick his story completely apart. It does not make sense what he is claiming happened to have actually happened that way. And now the family of Halyna Hutchins is speaking out about this. And this does come from Bounding into Comics. Anatoly Androsevich, I think I'm saying that right, it's a tough name to pronounce, father of Rust director of photography Halyna Hutchins, has recently opened up about what happened on the set of the film, declaring that it's hard for him to understand how Alec Baldwin cannot be held partially responsible. I can't understand the behavior of Alec, Androsevich recently told The Sun, wondering why did he sweep out his tweets when it became clear that it was on rehearsal in wake of what happened on the 21st of October. And not only did he delete a series of tweets, he eventually deleted his entire Twitter account and has protected another one that he's using for PR, which is supposed to be his foundation, his charity foundation. That's the one that he's been using to put out little statements because he can't stay off of Twitter. We've seen him and Hilaria, his fake Spanish wife, posting things to try to make them appear sympathetic on Instagram, but they had to go and delete their Twitters because they were getting destroyed. They were getting ratioed. They were getting wrecked. Not only that, but also all of those tweets that he had that people were pulling up that were absolutely embarrassing in light of what happened. Hutchins' father continued, and why did he fire a shot during preparations? The revolver is the type which doesn't shoot before the trigger is pressed, and Alec is partially guilty for causing that shot. It is clear to me Baldwin fired the shot from his hand, so it's hard for me to understand how he cannot be held partly responsible. Adding he doesn't know whether Halyna's son Andros will ever fully recover from the event, and explained Andros is slowly getting back to life, but this is a huge blow for all of us. And we've all been wondering, what does the family think about this? We saw how Alec Baldwin used the husband and used the son as a prop, right? As a prop. Look at what I'm doing. I feel bad too. She was my friend. She was my friend, even though we then realized he had only met her a few days before, had never worked with her before in history, and even admitted that they never talked other than very brief small talk before getting into what happened on set. So he lied about that. Then he tried to use this family to appear more sympathetic to everyone. Well, it seems like at least some members of the family have kind of had enough. Initially, when this first happened, her father came out and said he kind of didn't know what to think. Didn't really hold Alec responsible. More put the onus on the people that were supposed to be in charge of the weapons, the armorer, the assistant director, the prop people. That's really where his focus was in the beginning. Well, recently, as Alec Baldwin has behaved like an absolute idiot, as he has come out there and given these statements that do not make sense. And here is that statement. Anatoly had previously stated he didn't hold him responsible. As reported by The Sun in late October, in the wake of what happened, Androsevich actually put the blame on the armory team, stating he didn't hold Alec responsible. It's the responsibility of the props people. And that was in the wake of what happened. It was reported a prop gun went off. All these things that people said that turned out to be absolute falsehood. Absolutely, they were pushed by Alec Baldwin's PR team, his basically, response team. That's what it was, pushing all of this misinformation. Alec Baldwin himself put information out there, crapping all over Dave Halls, who's now on his side as they have decided to band together in this because they know they're all facing these lawsuits together. And of course, Alec Baldwin put out that tweet right there. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation. Well, are you? Not quite sure, because you refused to turn your phone over and over again. And the police had to actually go get it from you 2 months after the fact. So I don't know if that's completely truthful. Rust script supervisor Mamie also believes Alec Baldwin is to blame because she filed a lawsuit against the actor, the armorer, and the producers 1 month after the fact. In a relatively recent interview, like we talked about with George Stephanopoulos, Alec Baldwin told his side of the story, making the outrageous claim that he does not feel any guilt, stating that someone is responsible for what happened. And I can't say who that is, but I know it's not me. In that interview, which he thought was probably just going to be absolutely phenomenal, it was going to be a lifesaver, great PR, that I think is the catalyst for the majority of this backlash. If he had just stayed quiet about this entire thing, if he just let people do their investigations, not virtue signal, not try to play the victim, just let it carry on, I think it would have just done that. It would have, kind of been pretty quiet about it. But since he decided he was going to take an opportunity to do a highly edited and dramatized and softball interview with his buddy George Stephanopoulos, lie about what happened, it was disproven. It could not have possibly happened the way he said, unless there was a catastrophic, highly irregular failure of this weapon, which would be evidence to the police. They wouldn't even have to do anything else. They wouldn't need to do any more investigation into Alec if this was the case. But no, that's not what happened. Alec Baldwin is an absolute liar. After doing that interview, Santa Fe District Attorney stated the actor still may be charged for what happened, and what happened to the director as well, injuring the director. Everyone involved in the handling and use of firearms on set had a duty to behave in a manner such that safety of others was protected. And it appears that certain actions and inactions contributed to the outcome. I'll be honest, I didn't think when this first happened there was any chance of Alec Baldwin being charged. I thought civilly he'd get destroyed, but as far as criminal charges, I didn't think it would happen. The more time that goes by and the more things that come out, the more it looks like that is a real possibility. And a lot of people didn't think it would happen for someone as powerful as him in Hollywood, but maybe he has been that stupid and that blatant with his lies that maybe they are going to look that hard in him. Maybe they will be able to pin something on him. Time will tell when it comes to that. But what do you guys think about the family of Halyna Hutchins? Her father coming out and saying it's hard to not blame Alec. He is at least partially responsible for what happened. Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.